Hey, what's up? You found the Titus podcast, brought to you today by Casper.com. Go to Casper.com/Titus. Get $50 off your first mattress purchase. And also Harrys.com, HARRYS.com, promo code Titus to get $5 off your first order. And now, here with the Armageddon update, Christopher Titus.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon update, provided by the fetus. Something strange is happening in America right now. Millions of Americans are voicing their displeasure of the current political establishment in two very distinct ways. On the one hand, you've got Donald the Hump Trump, the guy who is literally willing to kill babies just because they might be related to a terrorist. He also believes if he kills babies, his popularity will go up. You wonder, why the hell does anyone like this guy? Part of the answer is that Americans are voting for him as an act of defiance. That's right. Suck it, establishment. We want the idiot. Rather than an act of support. They are sick and tired of politicians screwing them over and making promises they can't keep. They want to rattle the cage to prove that they still have a voice in the political system. However, there is another option, option B, and maybe a much less toxic one. You may have heard of the independent from Vermont named Bernie Old Guy Sanders, but probably not as much as many of the other candidates. You know, Trump's bombastic tongue and Clinton's continued scandals make for better television, better ratings, and as a result, more money for the cable companies. But let's take a moment to hit some of the points you may not know about Grandpa Sanders. He doesn't have a super PAC, and he has almost 5 million individual contributions, bringing in over $42.7 million in February alone. I'd have moved to the Bahamas. He's been advocating for minority and women's rights since he entered Congress 20 years ago. Only 20 years ago. Have you seen how old this dude is? He polls significantly better against potential Republican nominees than Clinton does. Significantly better. See, while Clinton sounds like a politician on the podium, Sanders sounds like an angry dad who is scolding his children for being bad. He wants to invoke a political revolution in our country, to save the environment, to stop big business from exploiting the middle class, to stop a corrupt campaign finance system designed to bend the American public over a table, rape them, take their wallet, and rip up pictures of their kids. Now, doesn't that sound more appealing than a guy who said he would change laws so that no one could say anything bad about me? Even if you don't feel the burn, be an informed voter, people. Get smart. You know, make a choice. Play your part. Be a fucking American. I'm Christopher Titus. And this is the Armageddon Update. Written by Fetus Farmer. All rights reserved. 2016. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus podcast, and that was a little Armageddon update written by the fetus.
Little feety.
Yeah, with me as always to my right, with a beautiful new haircut, Bombshell Rae.
What's up, people?
And over there on the other mic is Fetus Farmer. Hey.
Silent. He's silent on the mic.
He's silent on the mic. So anyway, Bernie. We talked about Trump last week, and we kind of beat Trump up pretty, and he deserves it. Every bit of it. The last debate between these idiot Republicans, I've never seen. The only time I've seen more dick jokes is when a middle act at a B club goes off on a Friday second show. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. As an American, I sat there just ashamed of my entire country. Is this the best we got? Is this the best we got? So, Marco Rubio's saying he's got tiny hands. Hey, this guy can't be president. He's got a small dick. What? When did it become that?
Yeah, it was mind-boggling. I was talking to Billy Gardell, name drop, about this the other day, and we were talking about how he plays to the lowest common denominator, and that seems to be what is more prevalent these days. He was speaking from a perspective of being on stage, how it's becoming a thing where like all these comics are becoming dick joke comics, and it's what it seems to appeal to American society more. We're not so much looking for integrity and morality and things like that in our leaders. You know, we're looking for reality television.
Yeah, it's become reality. We want to see, basically, that's what the Republican debate was. It was the Real Housewives with penises. That's what it was. And they talked about penises.
Who wants to picture his... I'm very visual. For him to go drop a visual like that...
Huge. I have no problem in that area. Let me tell you. Did you just say in front of the American public that you had a big dick? Is that what you just said?
And the guy with the big dick. And here we are on big dicks again because that's, our common thread.
You like to be on big dicks, though.
God. Anyway, is that...
I'm sad.
The guy with it doesn't say it. So I just think he protests too much.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I think we should also address the fact that Fetus did write the Armageddon update.
Fetus did. So we've been filming all week, last 6 days, and Fetus has been a second AD, and he's kicking butt. We have to give him little round for the Fetus, stepping up. It's like when your toddler walks. You know, oh my God! They used the coffee table to stand up. Oh, they took 3 steps! Yay! So he's been kicking butt on set.
He's got his little small snack pack of Cheerios.
Yeah, in his fanny pack.
Snack time.
Yeah. He's got that one weird cookie that they just suck on. That's made out of balsa wood and sugar
good.
crap. What is that cookie?
It makes his gum feel
It does
good.
make his gum because he's teething.
It was interesting to watch you because he offered to write it last night, which you and I both instantly grabbed the bottle of wine and pounded another glass. We were so relieved. Both of us were like, all right, high five.
Let me tell you how this got done. So last night we're at this place called Center Stage. It's the guy that runs the place has been. We filmed with Jackie Flynn and Billy Gardell.
Name drop twice.
Yeah, we got to do a thing. Right? So whenever someone does that, we all have to go, name drop. Okay, so we were filmed with Billy Gardell and Jackie Flynn. Name drop, and they were phenomenal. Billy Gardell. It's hard for me. I wrote it. I'm directing and I'm acting, which is probably the dumbest decision I've made in a long time. Although it seems to be working out. The only problem is focusing on making sure it's funny, and then I'm acting and directing. I'm worried about my acting, and Billy's catching me. When we're working with Billy Gardell, it's like having a buddy you've known that doesn't lie to you. And it's painful. I have to be honest. When Billy Gardell goes off on you, hey Titus, what are you doing with that? Why don't you stop acting like a douchebag and say it for real? Like he does stuff like that all day.
I love it though because he speaks Titus. He speaks Ken Titus actually, and so when he talks to you, I think like if I ever said that, you'd be like fuck you, you know. And you're not taking that from anybody, but because he speaks your language a little bit, your childhood language, and so you listen to him. You also respect him. Obviously, he's brilliant on set, brilliant to watch. The whole crew is just like, holy crap, every time he
great.
does. Yeah. But you listen to him and then you guys talk about it, then you do it, you act it a different way, and it's really good. So
Jackie Flynn was on this thing. People, there's a scene, the second or third scene into the movie, I believe will be one of the funniest scenes in the movie. We've got this funny, we shot for 6 days, funny. Yesterday was stupid. It was so good to end the first week on that day. Jackie Flynn is in the bed. I have injured him in some way. I'm not gonna tell you how. And it was a simple thing that Billy just noticed. The bed was a power bed, and Billy and Jackie and I are fighting. We're gonna go to a fist fight. So Billy just says, "Jackie, don't move. Just sit there and hit the up button on the bed." And as you're coming up, threat to kill him. And Jackie's yelling at me in his East Coast thing. Yeah, and the bed's going, and then I'm like, that's brilliant. And so as Jackie's coming up, we got the camera behind the bed, and you see the bed coming into frame, and I'm like, come on, I'm setting up like I'm going to duke this poor guy who can't move in bed, and it really was ridiculous. So thank you, Billy Gardell. Name drop for being such a badass on set.
But anyway, so it was great. Fetus wrote it and he saved both of us, and because of Fetus we were able to drink the whole bottle of wine last night, which we needed. So it's also brilliant to watch you put a little stank on it as you read it. In the moment, adding jokes. In the moment. The first time you've ever read it, you read it live.
Yeah. Well, Fetus, I've been doing this a long time. Let's just be honest. But Fetus actually did a good job. He was close enough. It was like there's enough subject matter. You're not a bad writer. It was okay.
Good writer.
Made his points, and I
not
just added.
Not super funny, but he's a good writer.
But young, 23.
Young buck.
Yeah, young buck. But good job. Yay!
Who's a big boy?
Who's a big 24? See,
he likes
and
to
almost
say 23.
and almost a half, and almost a half, 24 and a half.
Not quite, almost.
So Bernie Sanders, we haven't talked about him yet. It's weird. I think and I just got it as I was reading that, there seems to be a dismissiveness that we are giving this little old man. And yet, if you look at it, he marched with Martin Luther King, didn't he?
Yes.
So this dude was down when it wasn't cool to be down. Like he was this little Jewish guy was marching with the king. It was like they're going, no justice, no peace. And he's going, no justice, no peace. Hey, let me tell you now, this is bad. We're going to have to I'm going to run for the Congress, and I'm going to do something good. So, and he's been in 20 years now.
Yeah, and what's crazy is when he ran for mayor of Burlington, he won by 1 vote. In 1 or 2 votes as an independent, And that's
So-
how he got his start.
So did they actually do recounts and all that kind of crazy stuff at that time? Do you know?
It's Burlington. I don't know.
Yeah, it was only 14 people, so
Right.
it wasn't hard. We recount.
They all just asked each other.
Yeah, anybody? Yeah, we good? All right, he wins.
So did you guys know? I mean, you seem to know everything about Bernie.
I don't. I like the guy. But he's also the guy you're going to get yelled at for being on his lawn. I'm a little worried about that.
That's you too, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, true.
Except you're setting up high security cameras, pellet guns.
Yeah, it's the difference between me
You're
and Bernie
engaging
Sanders.
the whole neighborhood.
Is he just yells and points? I come out with a hammer. And the kids go,
Yeah.
"Why does he have a hammer?" Yeah, you're going to see why I have a hammer. And then they get off my lawn.
Yeah. So did you know that Bernie Sanders is an accomplished folk musician?
Wow, say it again. That's good.
I'm so tired. He is an accomplished folk musician.
Nice.
Why do you sound drunk when you say musician? Musician.
Before I was into the judicial space, I was a folk musician.
Did you know that?
I did.
Interesting.
What
Have
does
you
he
ever
play?
heard it?
There's a couple funny
Pan flute?
not like a banjo, I think.
Yeah, no, I heard.
totally
Wait,
see a banjo.
he did an album, and
did.
someone played something. It's the worst thing I've ever
Yeah.
It's not
heard.
very good, but he still does it.
Yeah,
He's-
this story calls it, quote, unique vocal styling.
Like if you had a choice between his record and William Shatner's record, you would actually go for Shatner's.
Yeah, well, that's a gimme either way.
No. You
That's
got to
an-
hear it.
That's an interesting presidential race too.
Ooh, yeah, we should hear. We should hear it. You got. I heard it. They played it on some radio station. You got to hear a little bit of the Sanders record. It is wow. You're like, really?
Is it anything
He's
like...
talking
was
like
it goats?
he's not singing.
Was that goats that we had? Remember that? Was it goats?
It was singing goats. Yeah,
Was it anything like that?
No, I
Not
want
as
the
good. Not nearly as good.
No, it's not as good. The goat thing you could remix and get some dance, but Bernie is it's a guy talking like this, but he's singing.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
that bad.
It's that
It's
bad.
that bad.
No.
Yes, you gotta. People, go Google it. Listen to it. You will laugh your ass off.
somebody actually remixed a "This Land Is Your Land" with Bernie Sanders.
That's
like,
what he's doing.
it,
That's what I
yeah,
heard. This land is your land. This land is my land.
with some banjo and stuff.
And it's going ding 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 from California.
Oh.
He's singing. That's singing for him.
It's folksy.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
not.
It's horrific.
It's crepsy.
So why do we want this guy to be president? And here's where it's all going to go sideways. Bernie, here's what I'm going to be devil's advocate. If Bernie Sanders is president and all the socialist programs come into play, what happens is the entire country gets flushed down the toilet in about 4 weeks. If any of these things get passed, if we pay for schools, for everything, country's over, on fire, move out, live on the ocean, right?
Are you asking me?
I was asking him, but he walked away.
He got up and walked away while
in the
you
middle
were
of the
asking
question,
him.
which
It
you're
was
supposed to
weird.
have. It's called dead air, and
We
it doesn't
both
work
turned
on
to him,
radio.
and he
You
was
douchebag.
gone.
You douchebag.
He doesn't know anything. He's 24 and a
Someone
half.
got a new computer.
Yeah, but what is that brand?
Microsoft. He works the whole place. The Combustion Lounge is set up as an Apple museum, and Homeboy goes and buys a Microsoft computer.
And by the way, I noticed that you were being asked a question for the podcast and you jumped up to gather notes and research and get your equipment, but that's not how we run this podcast,
Nah,
actually.
you
we
don't get it. Dead air doesn't work.
There's
Here,
no notes and research
You
and
actually have a
facts.
mark next to your name at this point.
We don't have
No.
facts. Like, what are you about to...
I'm
He's
putting-
about to...
You got a yellow
he is.
card. You got a yellow card on so far on the podcast. Go ahead.
We-
So tell me about these socialist programs. How the hell is this old Jewish guy going to make our country work better?
Well, he has his own video game. Did you know that?
I didn't even know that.
Ha ha!
What?
Ha!
Bombshell brings it.
Stumps Feedy. He has a video game. Started in 2006. It's called the Bernie Arcade. It features him piloting a vintage airplane, which users can control in an attempt to avoid floating sacks of cash, which represent big money special interest, felines and top hats, which represent fat cats, and other obstacles. And he uses his own voice in the game. And
I don't want to hit that bag of money.
whenever they do hit the money, he says, ugly, absolutely abysmal, disastrous. So the game is just about as exciting as his speeches. Anyway.
That was nice.
And it's his head.
Let's talk about this guy. What do you think would happen to the country? Bernie socialists. But I love when people throw this word socialist around. You can always say
Democratic socialist.
democratic. I know, but I'm saying, but socialist. Even it's not communism. It doesn't mean social security. It's in the title. You know, there's subsidies for corn farmers. It's subsidies for big oil. That's socialism. When they built highways across this country, that's socialist because it's for everybody by the government. Now, you guys want to shut all the highways? Let's make us a entirely non-socialist country. Let's shut all the highways, have no more government spending on roads. You get to fix your street, and for your job is to fix your 40, 80 feet of road in front of your house all the time, and the government won't get involved at all. At all. Nothing. No services, no mail, no.
Do I have to pay taxes?
No, not under the socialist thing, no.
Okay.
Not under if it's no socialism at all. But people
because
just don't.
people in America work so well together.
Food
so
stamp, right? It would be easy,
yeah,
right?
totally.
Because people in America were all one big happy family,
and everyone
pitches in,
has responsibility.
Totally
keeps their space clean wherever their house or apartment is or car,
and really think of other people. I noticed
really thinks of other people.
All the time.
Combines efforts
That's
to
what
make
Americans do.
Everything around them clean and nice and safe.
Every day, yeah.
Every day, yeah.
And a lot of respect for
I
each
see
other.
no problem
a lot
with
of respect
this.
for each other and other people who aren't like you.
Oh, we love people that aren't like us.
Totally.
In America.
They're our favorites.
We learn it first on the playground.
Yeah.
In
Accept
kindergarten.
and love everybody equally.
Who's different. If
Right.
someone's super different, say she has legs that are 5.5 feet long and maybe knobby knees and maybe she only weighs 80 pounds even though she's 6 feet tall, we should embrace her. We should press her head to our bosom.
Yeah, or that little stupid looking kid with the cowlick and the freckles who was kind of pudgy and walked around looking like a pear. That kid,
His bad
that
teeth.
that kid, those two and bad teeth. That
Which
went,
ironically made it easier to eat pears.
it did, it really did. And actually when my pears were done before, the core was a piece of art because it was a lot of.
It is
So-
a maiden.
So if we took socialism out of our country, everybody would be taken care of 100%.
No problem.
Right, that's what we're saying. Right?
Ah, indeed.
Indubitably.
Because utopia, it's just Social Security's in the way of utopia. Food stamps are in the way of utopia. Subsidies to oil companies are in the way of utopia. Let's stop it all now.
By the way, he won by 10 votes. Not one.
Yeah, it wasn't. One was a bit of a hyperbole, I guess.
I like when you suck the life out of him with a sentence. Ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Sanders.
That ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway.
Jeez.
I saw below me,
I feel so much better about my singing now.
and that on this earth there will be peace, there will be
He's feeling it.
justice,
He's feeling it. Hold
there
on.
will
Here
be
it comes.
human brotherhood.
Here comes the sting.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's
Here we
cranking
go.
the piano.
Here we go. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're great.
Keep dropping
You know those
things.
girls in that choir were like, we got to sing with this motherfucker. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's pretty brutal. Sing.
Wow.
Can you call? Is that singing?
It's talking with music.
In a really annoying accent.
Thank you for finding that, because now we have an example of really that the guy shouldn't be. But as a legislator, how is he? Come on, let's be honest. Talk about socialism. Tell me about it. Sell me on socialism, Feedy.
Well, he's got some really good plans for if he becomes president, and his big one that he
Listen
keeps-
up, pundit. Just cut to the cheese. Let's do it.
His biggest one is the Rebuild America Act. It's a $1 trillion plan to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure. And
You mean the bridges falling down? No,
Yeah.
if we'll just stop all this crap and the people will get together and rebuild the bridges, right?
We always do.
Always, every time. Remember that time we had the big bridge building like the Amish? We all went down and we rebuilt the Golden Gate Bridge?
And the women made sandwiches.
That was a good day.
And that'll also put 13 million Americans to work, which is good because jobs.
So wait a minute. So if we rebuilt our country, you're telling me that if we spent some money and to fix all the crap that's broken that's been here for 200 years,
Yes.
we would employ 13 million more Americans that are currently like unemployed right now?
Yes.
This seems crazy. What's a crazy plan? What else crazy does this man come up with?
He wants to make public colleges and universities tuition free.
Wait, smart people? Wait. So he wants to employ 13 million people. Then he wants to give people free education to make them smarter so we don't have people voting for dickheads like Donald Trump anymore?
Yes.
I don't. This is
Hold on.
What is going on?
No, yeah. Where is all this money going to come from, though?
There you go.
Interesting that you ask that. For free college for all, it's paid by imposing a tax on Wall Street speculations that would generate about $300 billion in revenue every year.
So, we got to tax Wall Street. So here it comes. So the rich people are going to get screwed, and because of America. Here's the twisted part.
I'm sorry. Tax Wall Street.
Speculators, because currently there isn't a tax on that.
What does that mean? I hear the word, I understand speculation. You're talking about short sellers. So when short sellers go in and they buy something low, I mean, just explain to me what we're taxing exactly. What profits are we taxing?
Well, he's reading it, so you have to give him a minute to find it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't know.
I do not know the specifics of Wall Street speculation. I'm a poor politician.
Okay, so here's the thing. As dumb as the people are that are following Trump, people that go, yeah, Wall Street speculation. And if you don't know what that is, you can't really say it with any verb, which I noticed once I brought up what it was, your verb dropped quite a bit.
Yes,
so Sanders is calling for a 0.5% tax on stock trades and a 0.1% tax on bond traders and a smaller tax on derivatives, which is future and options trades.
0.5%?
0.5% on stock trades.
And that would raise how much money? $300 billion?
A 0.1 on bond traders and a smaller on derivatives.
So here's the problem. I don't hear that. Like when I listen to the news, all I hear is he's going to raise taxes, blah, blah, blah. 0.5%. These guys are making millions a day, some of these guys.
Yes.
0.5, not 5%, 0.5%.
Yes.
Half of 1%.
Yes.
And that would pay for free education across the country.
Public college.
Here's the problem, though. So I'm reading about this as we're going right now.
Somebody in the panel does research. I'm the babbler. She actually is the smart one. And we haven't.
I have the research up too, but you want me reading.
So, well, you have to know what the words mean that you're reading.
There you go. That's it. That's a good point.
Very important.
That's why I don't read. Go ahead.
Exactly. Or
spell.
Or interpret maps.
Yeah, not all.
So what they're saying is that because of the way that trading is done, that a lot of the hit would actually go and be handed down to the investors, to you and I, to you and me would actually.
So basically, what happened was we're taxing Wall Street, but as Wall Street does, as when the government imposes a new thing on a car, like they have to put a new exhaust thing on a car, the company doesn't eat it; they just pass it on to the people.
Right. So the proposed tax would apply to everyone in the trading system, which would include, and this is sort of ironically, the endowments that colleges and universities depend on to fund their operations, financial aid and scholarships.
So all the money that colleges have invested in Wall Street would also end up paying a 0.5% tax. I will tell you this. Here's what I think about it. Now that I hear it, this is not a Democratic view or a Republican view. This is a logic view. If these speculators are making that kind of money, if I had $1 million in the stock market, let's say 1 year I made $300,000, okay, 1% of that is $3,000. So half a percent of that is $1,500. I am more than happy to do that if I can turn one day to both my children and go, you guys get to go to a state school for free and get a degree.
Okay, but the people that you think are being hit with it aren't really being hit with it. For example, 89% of all mutual fund assets are held by households.
Right.
So mom and pop is who's paying that.
Right, but even, I know, but here's what I don't understand. We all want free shit, but no one wants to pay for it. It stops being free shit then. We would all like our kids to go to college, but no one has the balls to go, well, how are we going to pay for it? Well, you got to send your own kids. So instead what we do is we saddle 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-olds, idiots basically, with $80,000 worth of college debt at least. I mean, these are stupid kids, stupid. So basically the credit card company said, so you start life in debt and with your credit fucked up. That's how your life starts as an adult. That is an untenable situation. It's also an amazing situation for the old fuckers that are running this country, because then they get to run everything. Because if you're just struggling, stressed, and you're trying to just make ends meet because you got an $80,000 student loan, how are you going to live? How are you going to survive?
Well, I agree.
Mom and dad is going to be paying your bills.
I agree with that, and I do think that system is broken.
He's broken.
Hello.
This system is broken.
How's you
I don't
doing?
like this, man. I want to go to school.
No, you didn't.
To college.
Yeah, so I do think it's broken being a college graduate, having used financial aid.
And just recently paid off your student loans.
So did my dad. My brother and his wife haven't paid theirs off yet. So, but I'll say this, part of that, the problem with that system is that you can get financial aid for housing as well. And if anyone is listening, went to college and got financial aid, I don't know if you experienced, you did not.
Just my freshman year.
When that check came in, we didn't run out and buy books. Everyone. No.
Hold on. Wait. You got financial aid to help you get a better education, and when that money came in that they just handed to you, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because again,
ladies' night,
and the feeling's right. Gonna get some Miller Lite. Oh what a night.
Yeah, because you could afford Miller Lite instead of the Beast, which is what you drank the week before. It was the busiest nights in the clubs and in the bars. Everyone was out. As the semester went on, it got a little slower. People were a little hungrier, but. Yeah, I mean, so there is some responsibility there in how that money is spent, because it seems far away. You're dum-dum's age. You think that you'll never have to pay it back.
I would like to read a note that she pointed at fetus when she said dum-dum.
But at that age, it's a far-off thing. It's never going to happen. And then all of a sudden you're hit with 15% interest, and they're demanding their money. I remember I was really surprised when they first started calling me and told me I was late, and I was like, what?
Late for what?
I don't have to pay that back. You know, I got a job, right?
You gave me some money.
I got a job. I moved on. I'm not still getting financial aid. I don't have to pay anything back. It worked. Congratulations.
It doesn't say financial loan. It's a financial aid. You were helping me. Click. Why
Then
don't you
they put it on
redefine
my
that?
credit report, and I subsidized it and started paying it. But that, I was his age. I didn't get it.
So let me ask you this. So, okay, I see. It doesn't seem like that much money. And even, okay, let's say mom and pop have $100,000 in for their thing, right? Okay. Right. Just so you know, they're not taxing the whole amount. They're taxing profits. It's not the whole amount. They're not taxing your $100,000.
They're taxing the trade. So so NASDAQ has an average. The average is 158 shares, right. Per trade. And the average of that is $7,434.07 per trade. Because that's obviously big trading and small trading.
Right.
Middle. So, you know how like with Charles Schwab right now, we pay $8.95
per trade. Okay.
So for that particular trade, you would be paying $37.17, which is 4 times greater than what you would typically pay, and it's every time you trade.
Why would you be paying $37.17?
That would be the percentage of your trade. The problem also is that financial transaction taxes historically have turned people away from investing. So it's people are like, you know what, I'll find another way.
It's interesting. I always find it hard when they say we're going to tax something that people can make a decision on, because when you tax something, it's not even if it's a lot of money. That's not the point. The point is that people now know that they're being taxed on it, so they're less apt to do it. If they taxed you on every lottery ticket you bought,
right,
the lottery would die.
Cigarettes. Look at what happened with cigarettes. Yeah. The only reason a lot of people started quitting was because
they became
they were crazy. Yeah. So Sweden and France have both tried these taxes, 1984 and 2012. Sweden was 84, France was 2012.
What happened?
Trading volume in those countries drastically declined. And actually in France's case, they're saying that the tax did lasting harm to the stock market.
And let's move on to the next Bernie point.
Well,
all I'm going to say is this: if other countries, especially Sweden, France, I can push to the side, but if Sweden tried it, some of the smartest people I know are from Sweden. I think they're really smart. They've really figured out. If Sweden tried it, a tiny country tried it, and it didn't work, it sure as hell ain't going to work in this backwoods burg. I'm telling you.
And really, maybe there's something to look at, honestly, in, people need to figure out their housing. So maybe financial aid I do think that the schools are overcharging. I think that people like Sally Mae, I think those companies, the interest rates on that, it's out of sight. But that needs to be handled. And maybe students shouldn't get that much for living expenses per semester.
Just so you know, I'm not saying this doesn't need to be handled. I believe education will give you a good life. If you're smart enough, if you're educated, you'll have a good life. I wasn't educated in school. I got educated when I became a comic because the only way I could write jokes was to know what the hell was going on. So I started reading like crazy. I started watching every news channel. I got smart and more insightful because of my job. School didn't help. Bernie says it's going to cost $60 billion a year.
About $75 billion a year
to give everybody college.
Public colleges and universities.
Okay, so check this out. We're still spending $880 billion a year on defense. We're still spending that much. Some of these companies are getting no bid contracts. What I say we do is actually streamline the whole system. We cut that budget by $80 billion. Okay, so now instead of $880 billion, our defense is only getting $800 billion. If we can't, which still makes us 7 times larger than any other country, and then we can make our people smart. If your people are smart, your people aren't assholes, I find. Now, they're still douchebags. They become, instead of assholes, dumb assholes, they become intelligent douchebags. And sometimes being hanging out with a douchebag is worse than hanging out with an asshole. We have to be honest about that, right?
Yeah.
Now, when I say, I mean, hey, oh man, shut up! I'll kick you faggots in the nuts. That's an asshole. Okay. And like, oh my God, did that guy just say faggot? You know, I swear to God, people like that need to be killed. That's a douchebag. That's the difference. Okay, are we cool?
I'm surprised you didn't mention how we're going to pay for the $1 trillion plan to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure.
That's next.
Okay.
So that's next. That one, see that one? Mm-hmm. That one has to be done or people are going to die.
Yes.
See, here's the problem with some of these things. I love when the Congress gets to a place where like, we can't do it. We don't have the money. Okay, so you're cool when Brooklyn Bridge falls into the ocean, right? You're cool when the Golden Gate Bridge rusts through. California's really good with infrastructure right now. We're spending a lot of money on it, and although it's screwing us a little bit, we're the best state. Screw everybody. We are the best state in the country. California, say what you will. We are taxed the most, 52%. Federal and state, we're 52% tax. But we kick ass. 7th largest GDP on the planet. You say what you want. That's why everybody's coming here. People, don't come here anymore.
Yeah.
Please, it's getting ugly. You guys have screwed this up. I was born here. I can stay. And I married. But I married you.
Okay.
You married in.
Thank you.
You're fine.
Thank you, sir.
Right. You're New
out.
Yorker. You can't. You just are second. New
York's awful.
You have to actually marry somebody from here. You're on a California visa right now because you're working for me and I'm covering you.
Okay.
But the second you're out of here, you got to go back to your little Canadian place.
No.
Yeah. Well, if you can throw rocks from your house into Canada, you live in Canada.
Yeah.
Kinda.
For sure.
We'll call it a gray area.
By the way, before we move on to the next Bernie Sanders point, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about one of our sponsors for the podcast today, Casper.com.
Did you see the tweet we got this week?
No, what was it?
It was awesome.
This guy just said, he goes, by the way, got a Casper bed, haven't slept this good in 2 years. Titus podcast rocks.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It's good to hear because I don't want to be a whore that just whores stuff. So when we get a company...
I do.
But when we get a company, I know you'll do anything for money. Yep. Or shoes. And now cinnamon.
Yeah, but Casper, it's a good company. It's why we take them on, you know?
Yeah. The memory foam beds, man, it just kicks ass. And
this is a mix of latex and memory foam, and it's just heavenly.
And when you get it, it comes in a box, and you need to make sure when you get this bed, open it in a large room. Don't go. I'm going to open this in the hall, because if you open in the hall...
Or and video it.
Yeah. We need to do it. When you opened yours, Fetus, did it just go crazy, or was it slow?
It was like... and then it just... That was the sound it made, and it was massive all of a sudden.
Are you outside of your 100-day window? Because you get a 100-day grace period with Casper where you can actually sleep on their mattress for 100 days. They ship it to you for free. You sleep on it, and if it's within 100 days and you decide you don't like it, you can ship it back for free.
He's outside the window now.
Yeah, and I don't need to send it back. It's awesome.
What if I took it?
Well, then I'd have to get a new one.
No, seriously, when you fight, if you was going to take your bed, you can't have it anymore.
No, he just said he'd be willing to spend the money to get a new one.
Oh no, I thought you were just saying I'm taking this, and I'd be like, I guess you're taking my bed.
He's kind of learned that if you say you're taking something from him, you mean it.
I was trying to make a point.
I get
that
it.
Once you sleep,
But he's a sad, sad boy.
But I'd get another one. Like, it's that good. It's not like I'd have to be like, well, I'd have to fork up the cash because I love it that much.
He's a sad, sad little boy, and you've ruined
our
him.
memory foam bed. If you tried to take it, we would fight you. If you came to our house and tried to get it out, I'm not sleeping the 4 days it takes to get another one anywhere else.
Also, these mattresses are made in America, which is another thing that goes in line with what we're talking about. No. We should get Bernie Sanders back
That's right, I
up.
was just
This land is our land. This land is your land.
You're supposed to keep talking about the mattress like it's American.
Well, I was trying to pull up Bernie Sanders.
Nimrod.
This mattress. What else do you want to know?
Just go to Casper.com. What's the deal they get if they mention the podcast?
What?
What's the deal if they mention a podcast if they go to Casper.com?
Oh, so already their mattresses are less expensive than anywhere else. It's crazy, like the prices that they charge for it. But you can actually you can get a twin for $500. You want to try it out? Get a twin. Actually, I should get a twin because I'm going to get a twin for my mom's bed for her apartment upstairs for me. I should get this. I'm going to get this because you get $50 off with promo code Titus if you go to Casper.com/Titus. $50 off, free shipping either way. So
Yes.
I would get that bed, and it's stupid that I hadn't thought of this until this very moment. $450.
And we're going to videotape opening it.
Oh, we should.
Because the twin will probably come in as like a shoebox. And you go,
Well, when I got the box on my steps, I was like, this can't be a mattress. This is, how am I going to sleep on this? And then it grew like the Grinch's heart.
It's very
not 10
heavy,
sizes.
though. Yeah, it's very heavy.
and the Casper's mattress grew 10 sizes that day. So Bernie Sanders has to be sleeping.
Bernie mattress.
Has to be sleeping on that because how does he look so? He's like 70, right?
Yeah, but he's only 2 years older than Trump, so
And not that much older than Hillary either.
yeah, well, like 5.
Hillary?
Hillary.
Well, that's her nickname.
Yeah, right.
That's her nickname since Little Rock. It's Kill and Hillary Clinton.
So true. Kill Bill and Hillary. Ow.
It's just a weird combination.
Okay,
So-
what was your next
So
thing?
the next thing.
Oh.
So how are we going to pay for the infrastructure? What are we going to do with that?
It's paid for by making corporations pay taxes and all of the, quote, profits they have shifted to the Cayman Islands and other offshore tax havens.
What's he going to do about that? What would he do about shutting that down? Because here's the problem: how can you call yourself? How can you even? Why do you even get to deal with the gold standard consumer that Americans are? That you actually think it's okay to put all your shit in the Cayman Islands so you don't have to pay American taxes, but you're still willing to take the money of the American taxpayer. We're the American consumer. People always say to me, and I've said it before, we're going to go back in the gold standard. No, we are the gold standard. Gold standard is just a metal that sits in a vault. The American public busts its ass. We were taught manifest destiny. This is the big problem we're having with our country right now. We were taught manifest destiny. We were taught from the second you're born, you can be or do anything you want. That's not taught in the Middle East. It's not taught anywhere in the world. In fact, some places are like, nope, this is your place in life. This is where you're born. This is where you stay. Get used to it. But in America, you're taught you can be anything. So what we have is we have these people striving. We're willing to buy nicer stuff. We're willing to spend money because we know we're going to keep doing better. It's trained. It's ingrained in us. That's why we are the gold standard in the country. So if you want to sell in America, you pay taxes in America. I think that should just be across
Period.
the board.
Yes.
That's not a Republican or Democrat. Some shit is just fair. So
Yeah.
if you want access to the American consumer, you're going to pay American taxes.
I think it was like in the first 10 podcasts we did it's probably gone now, but I pulled up different corporations and we talked about their tax
Right.
breaks and what they paid in taxes. I remember Carnival Cruise Lines was one of them, and they said, whatever billions of dollars they took in, and they paid no
Zero. They
taxes,
paid zero.
or some of them actually got money
Reimbursed,
yeah,
yeah.
from the government.
It was like Exxon or somebody got a crazy
Exxon is
check.
who it was, I think.
Exxon got they paid zero and they got a check. They got a bonus check. What the fuck?
Yeah.
They
you
got
get a-
subsidies. Or is that what it is?
Crazy to me.
Which is socialism, and that's what cracks me up. People are so stupid when you just we ain't gonna have no socialist president. Why? Why? Bush was socialist. His daddy's oil companies took a lot of money from the government.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Cheney, total socialist. Halliburton got no bid contracts. Socialism. Got it directly from the government. And then Halliburton had the balls. $9 billion is still unaccounted for from Iraq. So when these people start talking and ranting and raving because it's some roofer or plumber who's a Republican, and I want to go, you know these guys aren't doing shit for you, right? Like, how can you be this stupid that you're just like, nope, Trump's a guy because he's a billionaire and I'm going to be a billionaire. Really? Really? Think you really? You, with that joint compound, you think you're going to be a billionaire? Really? And that's because the manifest destiny, we all believe, this is the bad side of it, we all believe one day we're going to be millionaires.
Look at Los Angeles.
Yeah.
See how packed it is here? You can't go anywhere anymore,
At any
time
time.
of day, without it being packed. All of those people, a large majority, are here because they believe that at any moment, any second, in the blink of an eye, they can go from starving to death in a 5-roommate, smelly apartment to becoming a millionaire that the whole world loves.
Starving to superstar. That's what it is.
That's what, and these people actually are here because they believe it. It's why we have all these homeless kids living in the overpass of the freeways and on the side.
But you're kind of going against what I just said. I think that makes us the gold standard. I also believe it makes us mildly delusional.
Well, you said
as a
mildly
society.
delusional, and I was agreeing with that.
As a society.
And
yeah.
it's also true.
But I was the same delusional. I wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
And now I'm filming my own movie. Now I don't know if it's gonna be great. I mean, I hope it is.
It's funny.
It's funny so far.
It's actually what happened to Brad Pitt. He actually got discovered. It has happened.
Yeah, but the percentage is .00000000000.
Right.
1.
Right.
Okay.
Well, yesterday Billy Gardell
Name drop.
was talking about how you guys started, about how you starved to death. You put 350,000 miles on a little tiny car.
Yeah.
You
sat in row 35 next to the bathroom on the airplane all the time.
And you guys you and Jackie Flynn and he were all talking name drop. We're all talking about how you guys, though, you said, well, the difference with us in today's comics is we could perform with a pool table in between us and the audience. And, and it's true. But that's what Billy Gardell was talking about, right? He was saying that's where he came from, starving, no money, crappy car, crappy clothes, and now he owns ties because of Mike and Molly that are more than what
your weekly paycheck.
Yes.
Yeah.
That he's living the dream.
Right.
That the impossible dream.
And I had my own TV show. The dream is possible, and I think you should strive for it, but you also have to face facts sometimes, and I think that's where we have a problem.
Well, I think some parents. I think
we're off. That was my point is not being made.
No, but I got distracted by that. But I think all parents. I was more thinking of parenting. All parents are now telling their kids that they can be anything they want to be, but not all parents are preparing those kids to be in this
work
world.
hard for it.
Yeah.
No, nobody is. I find very few parents. We had a long talk with my kids the other day, and Bruce Springsteen. Springsteen was on satellite radio, and I was listening to it, and there was a live version of Glory Days, and he was telling this story about when he had two things I wanted to be when I was growing up. One was a baseball player, and the other was to play rock and roll. But I was going to be a baseball player. And he'd already started playing his guitar, and the whole story ends up being that he finally gets in this game, bottom of the eighth, and he goes, I know if they don't hit it to me, I had a good game. They hit it right to him, he drops it, and he quit baseball. And the Glory Days, he talks about what the song was about, and I told my kids, I said, "Do you hear this song, guys? This is about those people who who get told by their parents how great they are. They win a bunch of soccer games, they get some trophies in high school, then they go to college, they play the college thing, and they get hurt, their leg hurt or whatever, and they got nothing left. And instead of turning towards life, the future, and finding the next glory day, they just start walking backwards toward the future, only looking at what they've already done. I go, you can't look back at what you did. Tomorrow is a glory day, but that's up to you to pick what it is. And that's why we're doing this movie, Special Unit. Woohoo! Yay! And Cynthia Waters is in it.
Name drop.
And
you guys are so good together.
She's phenomenal, and she's very, very nice.
She's
Yeah,
very
she's a sweetheart.
shockingly nice.
Yeah.
I actually asked him because she's like just a lovely human being, pretty inside. And
Right.
she was spending her lunch break. I would pass by her, and she was talking to the PAs, like the lowest on the totem pole. She's hanging out with them, laughing, talking about their kids, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We were filming a scene together, and at one point she actually held my hand and squeezed it. Like, she's just and then the two of you get together. Holy crap, you guys are, you just fell right back into it. It was so good.
It was really weird.
You guys have great on-screen chemistry.
Yeah.
Cynthia, well, we had for 3 years. It was like it was
Yeah.
literally putting on my favorite pair of jeans. I was like, "Oh, okay, we're here, we're back, we're doing this again."
And you guys were making each other laugh. I could see you trying not to laugh as she was being totally ridiculous, and
I
your
did.
nostrils
I tried
were
not
huge.
to. At one point, I knew on camera it was a close-up, but I knew my nostrils had opened up to the size of basically the gloating door on a C-130, and I walked off camera because I'm like, I can't use it because my nostrils have opened.
was
I'm about
great.
to laugh. Yeah, she's hilarious. This character, I didn't realize what I wrote. Is this character? This character, Garrett Fowler, in this movie, is an ass. He's the worst human being I could possibly. When I wrote it, I thought he was kind of roguish, and he's just a dick.
Yeah.
He's a dick, and I don't know how he's going to be likable. I'm a little concerned. That when this gets cut, that people are going to. I'm like, I don't know, watch this. This guy's an ass.
Well, it's great because Cynthia plays his ex-girlfriend. She's the mayor, and she is pretty over him. And she's like the only person that doesn't really take any of his crap. She knows way too much about him.
Right.
And he lets her. She's the only person that he lets do that. And so it's really interesting. I don't want to spoil it, but it's really good.
But we
So
got
good.
we got fun. So infrastructure. I think that just has to be done. Any president that avoids that from now on, and Obama did a huge chunk of it. We did a bunch of it.
Oh, yeah.
Which, thank you for screwing up L.A. for 6 years, Obama, but he did. They put new bridges in. Roads got widened since the recession. When that thing, remember that it was a jobs program that Obama kicked in. It worked. I mean, we had a lot of people employed. We are screwed, though, and we're screwed because none of these guys first of all, the guys we got in Congress right now are just ballless humps who think by doing nothing they're doing something. And that's not how politics used to work. We used to they would get something done. And what's happened over the years is the compromise is people started compromising less and less and less and less and less. And now we're at this point where people aren't compromising at all and everything is gridlocked. We're done. So I wish the American public that listens to us would talk to their friends and people around them and let them know that the next time we vote these assholes, because they really are. You know, the second Scalia died, a Turtle Man came out and said, Mitch McConnell.
I know.
Turtle Man, I forgot his name. I called Turtle Man. I saw his face and I said Turtle Man. Turtle Man came out and he just said, we are not going to even have a hearing on anything Obama nominates. Really? The president who the public elected twice. That's people forget. Obama didn't win the lottery. Obama wasn't put in like the Iranian, like the Sunnis put in their guy. Obama was elected by the American public twice. And that you are just going to shut him down before you even talk to the guy who wants to be the next Supreme Court justice is flat out bullshit and not how America was built. I'm Christopher Titus, and I'm running for president. I just heard myself. Wow. You're bored out of your mind.
I can't stop yawning. I'm so tired.
Because I'm talking.
I'm exhausted.
Do we want to...
It's stupid.
Yeah, let's keep going. I want to hear more. Give me more Bernie.
I'll give you 3 things and you pick which one you want to talk about. Youth Jobs Program, paid family and medical leave, and renewable energy and clean jobs transition.
That's happening now. That will happen without any help.
Okay.
So give us the first one.
Right now we're 5% renewables. Right now, and that's since Obama took over.
The Youth Jobs.
The Youth Jobs Program.
Youth Jobs.
Senator Sanders has proposed a $5.5 billion Youth Jobs Program to create $5.5 billion program to create 1 million jobs for disadvantaged youth Americans, paid for by ending the carried interest loophole that allows billionaire hedge fund managers to pay a lower tax rate than nurses and truck drivers.
Right there, that's bullshit, flat out. Right there, just the last thing you said is flat out bullshit. And I don't even care if you're Republican or Democrat. Again, it doesn't matter. Fair is fair.
Right.
Why do these rich? You know why these rich douchebags get to do it?
Because they get to write the law. They have influence to write these.
They
loopholes.
get to send politicians a lot of money.
Yes.
To write the laws, so they can actually keep a lot of money.
Which is what Sanders is. Most of these ways that Sanders is hoping to pay for this stuff is just by making stuff fair, like that. Just trying to be like, hey, why are these handful of billionaires?
Why isn't that on his poster? Bernie Sanders making stuff fair. Why isn't that on his freaking poster?
Well, actually, Obama, Donald Trump, and Jeb
B-Rock.
Bush
I like B-Rock.
all approved this. This was something that they all had in common, that they thought they all indicated their support for ending the tax rule that allowed hedge funds, private equity firms, and venture capitalists to avoid these taxes.
Democrats and Republicans both agree that
Yes.
this need to happen.
And both a lot of Democrats and Republicans want Citizens United overturned too. That's something they.
Well, that's why they're
probably gonna
scared to
happen.
death. That's why these politicians that are Congress right now, that's why Congress shut down. Because the second Citizens United gets overturned, if Obama puts a liberal justice in that's going to vote his way a little bit, it's over. And that means all this money, and you know who's going to lose the biggest? Republicans, because that's where all the big money goes.
Oh yeah.
But Democrats take just as much money from Big Pharma. They take just as much money.
Bernie.
Yeah, they're all scumbags, except, honestly, I have to be honest with you. Scumbag. He won't win. He won't make it. I don't think he will.
Really?
It's weird. It's ageism. I think that, and it's not big. And again,
He just won 4 out of the 5 primaries.
how many? Okay, all right. So I don't even understand our system anymore. There's no other country on the planet where people run for president for 2 fucking years. It just doesn't happen. So why is our system so screwed up? Now, maybe we're vetting them well. I wrote a big thing on Facebook about Trump because I just got tired. When you tell a bunch of dumb people that you love dumb people, you're a huckster, salesman, goomba, douchebag, asshole, and you don't need to be president.
Well, let's
and
talk about-
I hear you have a good big penis, but as
He really is a middle act hack.
yeah, as my girlfriend said, my wife actually said, "I like you. I like calling you. Can I call you my girlfriend? Can you be my girlfriend too?
Chica.
I like you to be a chica, man. My little chica say, man that talk about a big penis don't have one.
It's true.
That's what she
He
said.
literally wants to
Papi.
change the First Amendment.
And the way he said it, nobody caught that.
You started to rev up.
I did a you can hear it. People get it. I actually sound like a motorcycle cranking. He did. People missed it. He said Trump came out and said he would like to make a law so these reporters can't just say what they want.
He said nobody will be able to talk bad about me because
Yeah.
I'm a winner. No one will be able to say anything bad about me when I'm president. Are you kidding? What?
The
That's
last time that was said, it was Germany. It was about 1936. Little man, mustache, who had a micropenis.
It's ridiculous. I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone.
And that he's winning, it's crazy. Billy Gardell, I would not
Name drop.
name drop. Yeah, I would not classify Billy Gardell as a liberal. I wouldn't. Hanging out with him, and he was incensed that we are so stupid to be watching this dude just do this, and people are following him. And then you ask him. The interesting thing, you talk to them and go, "Why do you follow Trump?" Because he's going to change things. He's building a wall. Mexico is going to build a. Oh, man.
I'm hoping just randomly in the next week or so that some young, eager, intelligent CEO is just going to pop out of the woodwork and grab the Republican.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk would never run
It's
for Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who? Rubio. Rubio. The thing is, Rubio got down in the mud
Rubio.
with him, and Rubio also, can't pay his loans back. So who do we have? Who do we have on the Republican side that we meet? Kasich. But even he did. There was a list of whole shit he did that really just screwed people over. I don't know. You guys aren't helping me now. I'm just babbling. I'm watching two people look at their phones while I continue to talk.
I just want to pull up the numbers on delegates right now.
Go ahead.
Because
Your-
you said Bernie can't win, right?
I want to
Your
know,
daughter
Kenny.
is texting me pictures of you and saying, "This is your husband. Aren't you proud?" And
Oh,
she's
no.
being funny. So I'm sorry I got distracted.
My kid's in trouble.
I said, "Well, I'm not going to grow up to look like that. How do you feel?" She's laughing now.
So on the Democratic side, you need 2,383 delegates to get the Democratic nomination.
Delegates?
Delegates.
Delegates, that's based on population per state, but it doesn't because states get almost the same amount of delegates no matter what their population, right?
No.
Okay.
Delegates is based on population.
Okay, all right.
And also there are super delegates, which are...
I am a super delegate. Hello, I'm super delegate.
There's a set number of super delegates.
Many votes are from me.
Which are specific people given a vote by the Democratic Party.
Okay.
So right now, Hillary has 465 super delegates, but they can, quote unquote, pledged, they can change their allegiance anytime they want. They don't vote until the Democratic Convention in July, which is what happened when Hillary ran against Obama. Hillary had all the super delegates, then they all flopped over to Obama once they saw how well he was doing. So just looking at the numbers right now, Hillary has 652 delegates and Sanders has 454.
Wow, that's actually a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Super close. So if Sanders continues to win states or get close to winning states and closes the gap, the superdelegates at some point will jump ship, is what the thought.
Bernie's downside. I will say this about Bernie. Bernie's been talking about, we got to be a much closer nation. We have to be tighter with each other. We can't have the divides anymore. All of a sudden, Hillary comes out last week and she goes, you know what? We need love and compassion in this country.
The only thing, if you want to know what Bernie's about, just listen to what Hillary says 2 weeks later. Because that's her campaign right now.
Nice. Did you hear the political slam that little feed he just came out with? That was nice.
All she's doing is repeating his stuff right now. Like, that's it, because that's her campaign strategy, because she's getting
So Hillary
throttled.
Clinton, 2016, what he said. That's
Yeah.
her whole slogan.
Basically right now.
Hillary Clinton, what he said.
Bernie had a really good slam on Republicans, too, in the last debate. He
Right.
said, if you want to know why we need to put money into mental health in this country, just watch the Republican debates.
Ow, boom. I will say this. I've never picked a political affiliation. Do you know the word I like? I like progressive. I hate the word Democrat. I hate the word Republican.
Me too.
Progressive means we're going forward. We're doing something as a country. We are rebuilding our infrastructure. We're actually coming up with a new system for air traffic control that doesn't put us in danger of crashing into each other, that we're actually going out of our way to get renewable energy so we don't kill the planet and our great-grandkids have to actually fucking die in some horrible apocalypse. Progressive means we're moving forward. I would like to call I would like to think I'm a progressive. I just want to get it better. How do we get it better? That's how I run my life. I want my life to be better. How do we get it better? How do we make sure that I don't get annoyed by listen, if we just helped the homeless and helped people enough to where I don't have to be annoyed at the freeway off-ramp by some 23-year-old with a sign, just to get I don't even
Sorry.
well, dude, you get paid. You get a check. Stop drinking. So I'm just saying, it's more annoying. Just quit bothering me. If I would pay a little extra taxes just to get the guy off the off ramp. Yeah, good. What it cost me? That last check cost me $4. That last check to get that guy off the freaking street, so I don't have to feel annoyed. I have to not. Yeah, I'd like to be able to make eye contact with people. Except,
Sorry, is his homelessness bothering you?
yes, it really is getting on my
his
nerves.
hunger and neediness, is it upsetting you?
We had an interesting thing.
White man.
First world problems.
Hey,
this coffee's cold. Damn it! This is not. I ordered an apple bagel, not a pumpkin. White man. First world problems.
By the way, speaking of white man first world problems, this episode is also brought to you by Harry's.com.
Harry's.com, best razors you can buy.
This
I'm
is
Bernie
March.
Sanders, and they're perfect.
This is March. This is the third month of the year. This is Harry's third anniversary, and their razors come in threes. I don't know. Just thought I'd throw that
A
out
lot of
there.
threes.
Yeah, right?
Man.
You get 5-blade German razors, the handle, and shave cream for $10 if you use promo code
Where was
Titus.
those razors done? Where was they built?
Germany.
The German?
They bought the factory.
That means that they're very, very good. And not only the 5 blades. 5 blades. You shave that, your face is going to feel as if someone came by with a Zamboni. Mm-hmm. Smooth like ice.
No cuts, no burns, and quality guaranteed. You get a full refund if you don't like it.
I have to be honest. I ran out of blades and I got mad. I had my Harry's razor out and I ran out. I ran out last week. So I
Yeah, right. They shouldn't send them to you every month. Damn it! I do ads for you people.
No, I have to order it because
They've even suckered you in.
because I went out and I didn't have any. I was like, ah.
Most importantly, you don't have to go outside and deal with people. You don't have to buy them and talk to people. You don't have to wait for the weird people at CVS to open the thingy. You sit in your house on your computer in front of the fire with 2 Yorkies.
Mm-hmm. You also don't have to be pissed when they open the thing and you see how much it freaking costs for a couple of razor blades.
There is that. But with this, seriously, free shipping, which that was Fetus's selling
Yeah.
point.
He just smiled. He actually smiled.
I know it's sad. Small. He's 24. He hasn't seen a lot yet. But
Right.
but Harry's, obviously you're not using it this week.
I have one, though.
You do.
The thing is that he Sasquatches up like this, and then one day he comes in looking like a baby again, and it's because of the Harry's razor. It's hard to shave that off.
No, this is very thick.
Yeah. You kind of weird. Whatever's going on with you, man.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's that thick blood thing you got.
He's got Yeti in his DNA.
That definitely. Well, Canada.
Mountain men.
I wonder if we'll give you land if you can prove that you're 1/8 Yeti.
Yeah,
But you have to go to Canada.
Government program.
But they'll take it back once they find gold.
Yeah, the Yeti reparations never got paid. They never got paid, as ever. Anytime the word, when anyone's throwing, if you got screwed over by the government and someone throws the word around reparations, just laugh and walk away. You're done. There's nothing going to happen. You're just a lot of paperwork for nothing.
But
all
anyway,
right.
so Harry's, one of our favorite companies, harrysandcasper.com. Both, you go to harrys.com, Harry, holy crap, HARRYS.com.
We only advertise good stuff on the Titus podcast. That's
Promo code Titus, $5 off your first order.
That's a claim from Titus podcast. All right, and now, from sea to shining sea, continent to continent, and sometimes space, it's Bombshell Rae bringing you the bombshell news. No, it smell like Florida to you? I think that's Florida.
Police say a fugitive in Tampa, Florida, did not want to be identified during a traffic stop in northeast Ohio. So he's from Florida, and he was in Ohio. He was getting pulled over, so he chewed off his fingertips. His name is... he's
So he didn't
committed.
get caught.
He's very committed to being a criminal. Kirk Kelly, he's been jailed on felony counts of evidence tampering and obstructing official business and misdemeanor charges of falsification and resisting arrest, all for that one act. His attorney is not returning messages.
How did he chew off his... I mean, wait, don't they just grow back?
Well, it was during the traffic stop. The officer smelled drugs. He gave false names, wouldn't show ID, and they handcuffed him. And
So they're going to let him go, obviously. So he won't. If they've asked for ID, he won't show. He gave him false names, and his fingertips are bleeding. I'm sure most cops will let you go at that point, right?
Seems fair.
God, people are stupid. Man, it's amazing. I'm always amazed at these news stories. These news stories I add to my stress and depression.
It's the commitment, though, to being a criminal. If
I
you could
wanna
just
start doing-
reshift that focus.
Right. Do you know, the effort and willpower it takes to bite your fingernails off, wouldn't that be better served working at a Best Buy, getting a percentage off of how many camcorders you sell? You'd still be making money and
Writing
having good.
a children's book.
Right. There you go. Something, even digging a ditch, you're still making money.
Stuntman, probably be a pretty good stuntman if you can handle that kind of
If you
pain.
can handle chewing your finger, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We can set you on fire cheaply. Independent films, we could use this guy.
A woman in Victorville, California, apparently tried to take a park train on a joyride. She was arrested 10 minutes later.
Park train, like one of those little tiny trains they
No,
put
a
kids
real
in?
train.
What?
San Bernardino, deputies were dispatched to the Victor Valley Transportation Center after 2 a.m. Because she, in the middle of trying to figure out how to get it to go, she constantly sounded the horn.
Barp. That's not it. Okay,
Which-
wait, hold on. Barp. No, that's not it. Damn it, I
Which
did it already.
alerted authorities to her.
No, come on, move forward. Where's it? Bop. Damn it, I keep touching that.
She actually did get it running. So,
No,
but-
she did not.
Yeah, when they got there, when deputies arrived, it was running. It was a Burlington Northern and Santa Fe train. She's 45 years old. Her name's Shauna Maroney. She refused to exit the cab of what she claimed was her train now.
I like the extra period of crazy. She didn't just get out and say, all right, sorry. She's like, no, this is my train.
There must be a mistake.
I have been in this train. Watch, I know where the horn is. Bop, see? How could it be someone else's train if I know where the horn is? I'm not even looking. Watch. Bop, see that? My train. Thank you. Step aside while I try to figure out my train.
I love that she could not hit the train thing, though, the horn. Pomona, California. We're staying in California. California nursing home erupted in celebration when a nurse won the Powerball lottery.
Wow.
Shlomo Reknitz.
Didn't we heard that? This is the guy who won the big one.
In Pomona, gave the employees and residents a total of 18,000 Powerball tickets for Wednesday night's $1.6 billion drawing. This was in January.
Right.
And the son of a nurse called her at work Wednesday to reveal that she had gotten the winning ticket. There was a huge celebration at the nursing home. They announced the nurse's win to the media and then found out that her son had actually just been playing a prank on her.
Oh, no.
She was quoted as saying, "It's embarrassing. This is just too much for us." The owner of the nursing
see-
home is sending her on an all expenses paid vacation though, because he feels sorry.
You know, how joyous were they? How many things did she put money down
All the
on?
All the old people came together and threw her this huge party, and he let it go.
He let it keep going? That's an asshole. The prank stops at that point. That's a kid that was raised on Jackass. That's mean. That's just flat out mean. So basically, all these old people who all of a sudden thought, "Yay, this is great. She may give us some. We may have some fun." And it's at one point, you just pretty funny up to a point.
I have actually a solution to the financial aid issue that we were talking about.
Yes.
There
Listening.
is a website that links young women with sugar daddies. And
here we go. What is that?
Perfect.
This
What
is
is that
actually, it's a sugar daddy website. NYU and Arizona State students have sought
course, Arizona
alternative
State.
financial aid.
Yeah.
These girls have, those two schools were 2015's top schools for students seeking men to pay their tuition. Seekingarrangement.com, it's a dating website for sugar daddies and sugar babies to meet. It's a free premium membership to students if they register with their .edu email address.
I have
And
one
then
of those.
the site, there you go. The site kept track of registrations in 2015 and found that NYU and Arizona State actually had the highest.
Are there sugar mamas
Feed it-
potentially?
But what if you got a gay sugar daddy? I want you to go on and register on the site just to have all these girls, all these young college girls, and then your bushy face would be really funny. You should just go put it on, see if you get any responses whatsoever.
I'd rather just stay on Farmers Only.
Girls from Arizona State just don't get it.
Actually, the owner of SeekingArrangement.com claims that he's actually very upset about the $1.2 trillion college debt crisis. He says it's crippling our economy. No one's doing anything about it. So he's offering
So these
this
hoes has handled their
opportunity.
business. So these hoes handle their business.
It's not an escort service, but men are giving an average of $3,000 monthly to their, quote, dates.
Really? Do you think they're just benefactors?
Hey, man, the website says that these sugar babies are not required to have sex with the men that take them out.
Oh, they're
Of
not.
course they're
Of
not
course, they're not
required.
required to have it. Wow.
Well,
The end of the world is nigh.
I mean, more power to these ladies for finding ways to make money.
Yeah, instead of to get an education to make what
15% interest, man. I
Let
want to
me-
get paid as early as
Let
possible.
me ask
ready.
you this:
I haven't-
What does that put in your brain? Okay, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna sleep with these old guys who give me money so I can get my degree, so I don't have to sleep with old guys to give me money. What? Doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
At what point? What is your soul worth? What is chunking your soul off like that worth?
it's any worse than getting yelled at for 12 hours a day, shoveling ditches.
Or working on a
it's
movie,
definitely worse.
or working on
It's
a
worse.
working on a movie with me and getting yelled at for 12 hours a
That's
day.
fun.
You have to sleep with an old guy.
Not required.
What are you talking about?
You have... Yeah. Just call me baby.
All right, sugar baby, is that the news? You got one more.
I have another one, but I keep flipping past it because it's just going to piss you off. And I keep
then we
flipping
got. Well, we got to end with that one then, obviously.
I keep thinking I can't, especially given that we're currently filming Special Unit to make a difference in the disabled community.
We had something happen. On set
We're
yesterday.
not going to talk about that.
No,
we're
we're
going to
not.
move on. You've
We're
tried
not.
twice to talk about that, and we're not going to do
Okay,
it.
all right. I'm gonna let it go.
Becoming disabled by choice, not chance. Trans-abled people feel like imposters in their fully working bodies. Interestingly enough, I just finished a Karen Slaughter, but no, it wasn't her.
What? What?
Wait. No. Who's J.K. Rowling?
You're scared.
Robert Galbraith.
You're
Yeah,
frightened
the
that
last
I'm.
book
What are
was
you-
about trans.
Are you talking
Did
about
you read
this?
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I've heard it's pretty
Mother,
It's
are
good.
you kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
Are you kidding me?
A guy who now calls himself One Hand Jason actually cut his right arm off with a very sharp power tool. This book that J.K. Rowling, under her pseudonym she wrote, and it's a novel. I just read it, and it was the first I'd ever heard about it, but a girl was featured in it that was, quote, transabled, and there are people that feel
There's a
like
name
something's wrong.
for being a psychopath?
Of course there's something wrong in this day and age.
Oh,
they feel like
God.
something's wrong, and they need to be disabled. They need to have something, whatever it is in their mind, if it's a leg, an arm, if they need something broken, a spine, whatever it is, cut off, they have a need for this. This guy, One Hand Jason, he had tried for months various different means of cutting.
Maybe he just had the nickname though, and he had two hands. He's like, and he really liked the nickname, so he
practiced on animal parts. There's actually a body modification website called ModBlog where people's goals are to become disabled, and they discuss, this was in this novel too, where they go and discuss how to do it. They meet each other. People feel like imposters in their own bodies if their arms and legs are in working order.
I don't even know what to say.
There are people on the site that want to
Let me
become
talk
deaf,
about this
blind,
for a second.
amputees, and
Well-
paraplegics.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. As much as this pisses me off, I'm more than willing to be a facilitator. You want to be blind? I got you. You want to be deaf? No sweat. You want to cut an arm off? Why should you do it? Let me make sure we nail it. You son of a bitch. Like, we're working with these guys on this movie who are actually... one guy's... Okay, so Tobias Forrest is playing one of the characters in it. Tobias was a full-out athlete. At 17 years old, we should have him on the podcast. We should.
Yeah.
As we get closer to the movie getting released, we're going to have him on.
There's a lady in Utah that actually is in a wheelchair and wears leg braces even though she doesn't yet need them. Yeah.
So
They don't deserve better parking spots.
we've got an asshole running for president, who's winning. We've got people in Utah wishing they were disabled who aren't, who are actually acting disabled when they're not. We've got people in Florida that are, what was that last story about Florida?
Chewed off his
Fingertips. Had the effort and guts to chew off his fingertips, didn't have the effort and guts to get a real job. I may just close everything down and move to a place, build a tree house, get a large rifle, and just stay there.
Canada.
I'm done.
The people in the
I'm sad.
The people in the transability.
Don't say it again. Assholes. These assholes that want to be disabled.
Actually are paying to have their limbs cut off. And they say that they are trans people within the disability movement, and they are seeking their due just like transgender people are getting their acceptance. Yeah, I told you this was going to piss him off.
I don't even know what to say.
You see
To
Tobias
anybody-
struggle. You
I
see
see
struggle.
Michael Aronin would kill 7 people to have his life back. He's got CP.
We had extras, a lot of disabled extras on set last week, and I've watched Tobias deal with it as well. He's a lead in this movie, and they rely on paratransit. And paratransit aren't
Sucks.
always the most accommodating.
They're assholes.
And most of them sat around for 4 hours waiting for their paratransit ride. Tobias, who's a lead in the movie, is sitting around in his wheelchair for hours, and sometimes they come and go and leave him. He, sometimes to get to eat, to go outside on the rooftop and eat at Willow Stages, it took 4 men to lift his chair over the step to get out on the roof. I mean, it's like...
I personally witnessed he said, "Oh, the van doesn't wait very long when they're here," and I went, "Oh, okay." So I ran downstairs because he had texted me. He had said that they just said they got here. Can you go down and make sure they don't leave? And I said, "Sure." It took me about, I think, 30 seconds for me to go from Tobias down to the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got there, in that 30 seconds, the van was pulling out of the driveway and driving away. And I sprinted at it, like waving, like telling them to stop, and they just drove off.
Yep.
And it wasn't even 30. Like,
What company was this?
I'm not
sure what it was.
It's a government. It's a California, and I don't know if each state has it, but it's called paratransit on the side of the van. But he panics. When he was at our house, he panics because they'll leave him. And they came 10 minutes early, and the lady said, "I'm not waiting. He needs to be down here." The problem is he's in a fucking wheelchair.
He's a quadriplegic.
He can't run to you, right?
So we waited and we made sure everything was fine, and everything, because it, but sometimes they take.
By the way, if you put a quadriplegic in an elevator, don't forget to meet them.
Okay,
on
so
the
this
third
story.
floor.
All right. So let me tell you something about working with this. Guys, special unit, I'm going to talk to you about it real quick. We're doing this movie. It is balls out funny. Tobias I wrote this scene where I'm interviewing everybody to try to audition who's going to be these special unit undercover cops. And one of the questions I asked the guys in wheelchairs in the movie is, can you do a wheelie? And we had some funny things happen. It was hilarious. Tobias, though, who's a quadriplegic, he can use his arms a bit, but his hands are kind of curled up. He says, I want to do that scene. So he has some stunt guys come in, and Tobias Forrest, a quadriplegic, did a stunt in this movie. Went over. It was the funniest thing. And he goes, wait, I got to stop in the middle. I got to stop in the middle and see, I got it. And then he went right over. It was so
brilliant.
funny. So what bothers me the most, these idiots who are driving these paratransit vans, that you guys don't have the balls or the heart to actually just wait for some dude who's in a wheelchair, who's being a lead in the movie. You suck ass. And I just hope to God at the end of this movie, people start to see these people as real people, because they don't see them, and B, when they do see them, they're annoying.
By the way, if you want to see a little bit of the progress, we're letting a little bit of it out. You can go and follow us on Facebook, The Real Christopher Titus, Bombshell Rae, Titus Podcast, also on Instagram, Ray Bradley, Titus Nation, and on Twitter, Titus Nation and Ray Bradley. We are posting little pictures, little snippets. I have video actually of that stunt, practicing that stunt that we may post.
Right.
So just go and follow us there.
You can also follow Fetus at the Ryan Farmer,
and also follow the special unit Twitter, special unit.
Yeah,
the
you
movie.
can. I'm putting out stuff, telling you guys what's going on. Also, review us on iTunes, because every time you review the Titus Podcast on iTunes,
and MaxiPad gets its wings.
Oh. All right, guys. You can, if you want to help us with the production, donate to Special Unit.
You can donate to Special Unit on ChristopherTitus.com. Get DVDs. Also, don't forget, if you buy anything when you're there, click through the Amazon link. If you're going to buy anything on Amazon, it just kicks us a little something.
And the Combustion Lounge?
The Combustion Lounge.
And the Combustion Lounge will stay open forever. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm Christopher Titus. For myself, Bombshell Rae and the Fetus. Later.
Peace out.
See ya.
You're supposed to.
I don't even know what to do about the trans-abled thing. It's the scariest. Talk about first, white man, why'd you cut off your arm?
There's one guy on the website that wants to cut his penis off. So actually, he's
you can take that.
gendered.
We should just come up with a company that we do that. I do eyes and ears. You do penises.